Hi everybody, it's me, Sam from Sammy's Movies, and today I'm gonna review Star Wars The Force Awakens. So Star Wars The Force Awakens is directed by J.J Abrams and stars John Boyega, Daisy Ridley, Harrison Ford, Carrie Fisher, Adam Driver, and Oscar Isaac. So this is the latest Star Wars movie. So the new Star Wars movie has finally arrived. It is my most anticipated movie of the year and probably the movie I've been the most excited to see in my life. And it is the continuation of Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, 30 years after the events of Return of the Jedi, which was released in 1983. So if you live on this planet, you've probably heard of this film. It's everywhere. It's got a ton of marketing. There's magazines of the film. There's cereal box. There's almost everything with the Star Wars logo on it. And of course, it's a Star Wars film, so I was so excited to see it. And I couldn't wait until December 18th. All the way back from when the first trailer was released, I was excited to see this film. There was a lot of hype surrounding this film, and I was so happy with the trailers and how they marketed the film. They really did their best not to spoil anything and to really keep the secret of the film, which I really liked about the marketing of this film. The trailers were really secret. We didn't know much about it, and it made my experience way better that way. So back in 1999, there was a little film called Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. And this movie is not very popular with fans. Star Wars The Force Awakens is probably the most hyped film since that film back in 1999. There were lineups of this film. There were lineups to see it. Everyone was talking about it. And when people saw the film, it was a big disappointment. Especially because of a little character called Jar Jar Binks. Mr. Jar Jar Binks.
No, Mr. Stay. Mr. called Jar Jar Binks. Mr. your humble servant.
I've won, baby.
We got two more prequels, Episode 2 Attack of the Clone and Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith. People don't like these movies very much. I've got a soft spot for these films because I remember watching them a lot, and I know that they're not as good as the originals. I still enjoy watching them. They've got a ton of special effects, especially Episode 2 and 1, that really didn't age well, and watching them today, it doesn't look that good. But Episode 3 is okay though. So people really hated on these films, and 10 years later, after 2005 as Episode 3 Revenge of the Sith, we finally get a new look at Star Wars, at the story that everyone wanted to see, the follow-up to Return of the Jedi. So the big question, how is the film? It is a ton of fun. Star Wars The Force Awakens is almost everything I wanted it to be. It is a lot of fun. It's probably one of the most fun experiences in the cinema that I've had. Just from the opening Star Wars logo when everyone applauded, I knew I was in for something special, and it did not disappoint. It's not a perfect film, but it's pretty great. And also this review is totally spoiler free. No spoilers here. I'm probably gonna do a spoiler review in a few days, and there I'll be able to talk more in detail about what I liked and what I didn't like. So this is the story, without spoiling anything, of how Rey meets up with Finn, played by John Boyega. He's a stormtrooper that escapes the First Order, and they meet and they go on an adventure and they meet Harrison Ford. So what I like the most about this film is that it actually looks like a movie, because it's made with practical effects. There's puppets and there's a lot of real stuff, not just special effects like there were in the three prequels. In this movie there's a lot of great stuff in it, and the acting is excellent once again, like the three original. The prequels didn't have a lot of good actors.
I don't like sand. It's coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere.
But in this film, Daisy Ridley steals the show. She was amazing in this film. John Boyega is excellent also. All the actors do a great job, but Daisy Ridley is really the one that stands out.
I was raised to do one thing, but I've got something to fight for.
Also, the character of Poe, played by Oscar Isaac, is probably one of my favorite characters. He's amazing. I just wished he would have been more in the film. The new robot, the BB-8, is fantastic. He has a big role to play in the story without spoiling anything, but he was pretty amazing. I can see him become the new R2-D2. And how's the old cast? Well, they're great. It was so fun seeing Han Solo back again at his role. Harrison Ford is just amazing, and he doesn't just rely on the old film. He also gets to the part of the adventure, and he actually does some stuff. He's not just there like to help the new ones out. He's actually a big part of the story. And the new villain, Kylo Ren, was very good. He reminded me a bit of Darth Maul. I remember seeing the first look of his lightsaber. I was like, what is that? But he was amazing in this film. Adam Driver did a fantastic job. He was so menacing, and you can understand where he came from. That was one of the best aspects of this film, because really you need to have a strong villain to have a good movie, I think, and he was an amazing villain. He wants to fulfill the prophecy of Darth Vader, and he's like a fanatic in some way, and his backstory was really good. I have a few issues with the film though, and my first issue would be that the story, if you break it down, it's kind of similar to episode 4 in New Hope, the first Star Wars film. But really, it's not a big complaint because I really love that story, and to start a new franchise, I think is the best way to go. It's just a minor nitpick. And my second flaw is that at one point, we get revealed to 2 special effects characters, and they just don't look good, I think, because all this movie is all practical effects and puppets and all that stuff. And when we see something that's like CGI effects, it just really pops out, and I really didn't look good in my opinion. General Snoke, I think it's his name. I really didn't like the look of that thing. I hope they change it up a bit, because he was really weird and he stuck up like lightning. And he really stood up from the rest of the film, which I thought it was a weird choice to put those 2 special effects characters. And those are my only 2 problems with Force Awakens. All the new characters in this movie work. They have good chemistry together, and also the dialogue between the characters is great. Really good dialogue, very funny. There's a lot of funny scenes in this movie that the audience loved, and I really laughed a lot in this film. So this is without a doubt one of the best Star Wars films. I loved it. There's a lot of cool elements. There's a lot of stuff to love in this film. It's just a really fun time. It's just so fun to see the original cast back again. And also, is Luke Skywalker in the film? Well, that I'm gonna leave it to you, because that's a big thing that people were talking about, because he wasn't on the poster in the trailer, and you'll see. I don't want to spoil that for you. I want you to get surprised. And also, the lightsaber fight at the end is great. It's not like the prequels where it was all choreographed. It was really cool in the prequels and all special effects and fun. But in this film, it actually looks real. You can really feel when they cross blades, and it's a really good fight compared to the other films. It doesn't look all choreographed. It just looks like a real fight that could happen. Of course, we don't have lightsabers, but then again. So overall, if you haven't seen this movie yet, go see it. It's an amazing film. It was totally worth the 1 year wait of hype and anticipation for this film. I couldn't wait to see this film, and I was not disappointed. Go have a theater experience. Don't watch it online. Just go to the cinema and have a good experience with other people. So overall, I'm gonna give Star Wars The Force Awakens a 9.4 out of 10. It's an amazing film. I can't say much more than that. Just go see it. So may the Force be with you. Go see Star Wars The Force Awakens, and I'll see you in my spoiler review. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and expect to see more.